Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello, everybody, and good Friday to you, and welcome into the Auburn Blitz, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sense of Green for air that's cool and clean. Call on Sense of Green. And speaking of Sense of Green, I got Wade Bennett here with me on this Friday. Wade, good to see you, buddy. Glad that you're able to hop in here on this Friday. Hey, the air has been way too cool and clean outside.
It's cold. It's cold, Lake Martin. It's cold, Alabama. It's been cold for quite some time, and I think it's going to get a little bit better and get cold again. And winter is definitely here, and it's not over. So if you need air that is warm and clean,
yes,
you better call Sense of Green. Check us out at www.senseofgreen.com. Up to $1,600 in rebates right now, and cool carrier cash. That's basically to get you a new system.
That's just handing you $1,600.
I mean, it's almost free money. You get tax breaks from it. You need a new system. You know you've been needing one. Don't wait, because we're getting booked up with this cold weather. We can get out there and take care of you, though. That's what we're here for. And thank you so much. We've been having tremendous response from being with you guys, so we really appreciate it.
We
Brett.
appreciate you guys, Wade, very, very much. And part of our corporate partner team here on the program. Couldn't do the show without you guys, Russell Do-It Center and J.A. Smith Construction. Man, what a weekend ahead for Auburn. Game day coming in tomorrow for this Auburn-Tennessee matchup. You and I will talk about that here in just a little bit. You've got a massive junior day coming up. By the way, Jason can't be on the show with us today because of baseball. Baseball is about to get cranked up. I mean, it's hard to believe it's here. He will be on the podcast with us Monday morning. So looking forward to having Jason on with us at 8 o'clock Monday morning to talk about and recap what goes on this weekend. Looking to maybe garner a couple commitments. That's kind of the goal, maybe. Elite recruits on campus in this junior class that we're going to go through. I know a lot of you watched the podcast as well, and you've watched Andy and Jim this week, and they've talked about some of these players. We're going to talk about some more of those, some of the ones that Auburn could possibly get a commitment from this weekend. And then, of course, that basketball game coming up. Auburn, the number one team in the country with that one lone blemish to Duke. Earlier in the season, Tennessee with only 2 losses, one to Florida, a 1-point loss to Vanderbilt last week. They come in. We've had some great matchups in this building in the last 5 years, but I don't know that there's one that's any bigger than this one coming up Saturday.
You know, I look back in 2019 at the end of the season when Tennessee came to town and Auburn basically had caught in fire before they made that run to the Final Four, ran them up out of Neville Arena.
Sure did.
I mean, that place was going crazy. And with game day coming tomorrow, record 5th year in a row for a program, game day showing up on campus. No one else has had that happen.
Not even Duke or Kansas.
Not even Duke, Kansas, or Kentucky.
If they have an appearance this year, they will tie Auburn. But right now, as it stands, Auburn's the only program to have hosted game day 5 years in a row.
No Pearlville.
Who thought that was going to happen?
I mean, come on, man. Really? 10 years ago? I mean.
Continue to do things that we never even dreamed and envisioned.
It's one of the reasons why Bruce Pearl's not just one of the greatest assets to Auburn basketball in the athletic department, but to the university. And, heck, I'll say it, the state itself, just bringing tremendous amount of exposure, positive exposure to Auburn University and to the state of Alabama. It's just a sight to be seen. No Pearlville, though. Little chilly. The university said no camping out, kids, but I guarantee.
So they're not going to let them today? They're not going to let them camp out today?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll have to double-check that.
Well,
I've
got faith going in. This morning.
They'll be there at 4 in the morning either way.
Sure.
So just bundle up if you're going to go to Pearlville.
Right. And, again, remember the game's at 7:30. By the way.
Long day of tailgate.
It's going to be a long day out there, but, look, you're only a college student. for a short amount of time, they can handle it.
It says it here, due to anticipated extreme cold temperatures overnight Thursday and Friday, camping will not be permitted in advance of weekend events. That includes Friday's gymnastics meet against Oregon State. So
there you go. So that answers that question. But I bet you there'll be some people.
Yeah, good luck stopping that.
Loitering is the word. I think it's going to be loitering around. Hey, I mean, if they're just kind of literally chilling, kind of just hovering out there in the open area that you call Pearlville. But look, that makes sense. I mean, this has been some bitter cold, and just don't want to chance anything. And look, that just means, like you said, going to have to wake up early and get out there. Now, everybody will want to go to college game day. And
sure.
So that's going to be a fun deal to go ahead and get in early that morning. And last year, it didn't work out for Auburn. The Kentucky game was college game day. Now, the Wednesday game, or actually maybe it was Wednesday game, we played South Carolina, and South Carolina was number one in the conference when they came in. That was Valentine's Day, by the way. Came in, Auburn won by 40.
Yeah.
And so they had to turn around, and you had game day coming in with Kentucky, and you know, it was kind of a letdown, believe it or not. I mean, Auburn didn't play well. Kentucky played out of their mind, and, you know, they escaped out of Neville Arena with a rare win and kind of refocused the team. Auburn kind of got refocused. But, you know, some of that can lead to a bunch of distraction. But I think they learned some things last year from all of that. And the big question mark going into this game is the health of Janai Broome, and will Janai Broome play? And we saw Bruce Pearl yesterday, Wade, say that he's going to try to practice today, and they're going to try to gauge and see where he is.
Yeah, you know, the game last year when game day came to town and Kentucky basically dominated Auburn, took the ball to the rim at will. Tigers just kind of were flat coming out in that game and got caught flat-footed.
They did.
You said it, a lot of distractions, had a big win before, kind of an emotional letdown. I like the fact that they didn't play this week, although it's kind of boring not to see your team while everybody else is playing.
But, boy, there were three good ones on Wednesday.
Oh, some fantastic basketball this week, just like every week in the SEC, from every weekend in the SEC.
Right.
I think this rest came at an advantageous time for Auburn. You could see against Georgia that team was a touch tired. Tahad Pettiford was the spark that got the Tigers over.
Thank God he had another good night.
You know, the silver lining is with Janai Broome being injured, Auburn has still not lost a game, and you're beginning to see a lot of different combinations within the rotations that Bruce Pearl likes to go to. That'll pay dividends down the road. I say, and I'm not in charge, but I say, Brett, unless he is, I should be, but 100% or bust. If he's not 100% ready to rock and roll, don't even come close to playing him. The Tigers would have to lose 4 to 5 games, in my opinion, the rest of this SEC schedule to drop down from a number 1 to 2. Maybe 4 would get them to drop down. It's not worth it. Make sure he's right. Continue to build on all these different matchups. And I think Auburn can not only beat Tennessee without him,
oh, they can.
I think they can whip them.
Oh, I do too. And especially playing at home. All right, so this will be game 6. So the first third of the SEC schedule will be in the books. And if Auburn's able to win that game Saturday, they will be the only team that navigated the first 6 undefeated. Of course, Alabama had that lone blemish to Ole Miss at home. And, look, somebody's going to get you along the way. And I was on Gary Harris's show this morning in Tuscaloosa, and it's like he said, with every win, pressure mounts. In basketball, I mean, we saw the only team I can remember running the table in the SEC was – of late was Kentucky. When they made that run, that undefeated run, they were 30-0, got to the Final Four and got beat by Wisconsin in the semifinal game. Look, it's like the New England Patriots losing the Super Bowl that year and having an undefeated record and getting to the – look, pressure builds. And I'm not saying you try to lose a game. You're not trying to lose a game, but a loss almost relieves some of that pressure build up, and you can kind of get grounded. Now, again, if Auburn runs the table, great. But I just think that's too much to ask of a team. And you just don't see teams. When was the last undefeated team won a national championship? I don't remember it.
Was UNLV undefeated when they won?
No.
I don't think Duke was.
No.
I'm with you on that. Listen, that was then, too, when the league wasn't as strong as it is now. The league
Exactly.
There is no shame in losing any game in the SEC.
To anybody, frankly.
Anybody, because every team has a tremendous amount of talent, and they can put it together on you at any given moment. Look, and if you have a bad night to boot, look what happened to Alabama last week when Ole Miss showed up in Tuscaloosa, in Coleman Coliseum, and took down the Tide. They turn around and have to play an emotional game against Mississippi State and get an L.
Right.
Alabama is a completely different team against a solid Vanderbilt team, which I think is a bubble team probably by the end of the season, and they blow them out at home. LSU comes to town. Wouldn't surprise me at all if Alabama blew them out or if LSU showed up and had a great game. I don't know what to expect from game to game.
Right.
And sure, you want to win them all, but, I mean, listen, what matters is winning them all in March.
That's what we've talked about really for the last 2 weeks is – nobody's going to go back and look at what you did in January. I mean, you're doing this to get a seed.
That's right.
And you're trying to get you have 3 seasons in basketball season. You have the pre-conference schedule, which Auburn played in maybe the toughest, if not maybe
toughest I've ever seen Auburn play.
Well, outside of Alabama and a couple others, as hard a schedule non-conference as you'll play.
Sure.
Lost 1 game. They're in season number 2, the SEC schedule. That's the second part of this, and then the postseason is March.
Yeah,
and it's the tournament. So that's what you got to look at.
If it takes a couple of losses, Bruce Pearl's already said it. We're going to lose a few along the ride. If it takes a couple of losses to relieve the pressure or whatever, and get you right and get you focused, so be it. It is what it is. But I also, Brett, the more they win, the harder they're going to be to get beat.
No doubt about it. Hey, you just iron sharpens iron. So, all right, we're up against the first break of the program. Just getting started. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
Are you looking for a great deal on a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC full-size truck? Check them out. Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierras side by side at Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama. Take your choice of brand new 2024 Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks discounted up to $12,000 off, or 0% financing plus no payments till springtime. Here at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. 45 minutes left in the show. Today, you can call us. You can send us some comments on YouTube and Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. Got some comments rolling in. Ed said the students will leave Sky about 3 a.m. and go straight to Pearlville with plenty of antifreeze. Yep, like I said, there's things to keep you warm. John said that I enjoy my time in Tuscaloosa, God's country. Well, the good thing about that show is, John, I don't have to step foot in Tuscaloosa. That's done by telephone, and so I'm on by phone every Friday. I don't have to go to what may be your God's country.
Not a bad town.
And not a bad time.
One of my favorite restaurants in the world up there.
Bubba said Indiana 1976 was the one that made the run undefeated in basketball. Thank you for that tidbit of information, Bubba. Again, we come. You guys
Thomas
come through
on that team.
I said Thomas on the 76 team.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. When did he start?
He just started about 1980 with the Pistons, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Bubba, there you go. Can you look that up for? See, when we throw impromptu stuff out there, our fans come through for us. I mean, that's the good thing. John said I was watching President Trump taking care of the American people in North Carolina and now on to California, I believe. Yep. Thumbs up, man, for that guy. You know, whether you whether you voted for him or not, who can't look at what he's doing for the people that are in need and in peril right now in this country. He doesn't need a photo op. You know, that's the thing I've told people. We're not going to make this political. But a billionaire like that doesn't need a photo op. You can go off and have a nice life and not worry about the rest of us out here in the country that have to work every day and do the things. But he really, truly cares, man.
You know, not a political show, but if we had one called The Blowtorch and the Bone, we probably could do some damage up here. That's a precursor for an idea. But real quick, he doesn't have to do what he's doing, and probably in the last week he's worked harder than just about any president I've ever seen work in my lifetime in any kind of spurt. So the man's in it to win for this country, and that's good enough for Uncle T.
No doubt about it. All right. Auburn, Tennessee tomorrow. Looking at this game, very similar as far as the defensive side of the basketball is concerned. Both of these teams get after you. It's going to be an interesting matchup between Denver Jones and Zakai Ziegler up top. You know, Denver Jones is up to the challenge every single night, no matter who he's guarding. Again, Gary asked me what the difference was. I think when you look at it, we both are similar teams, but I think we're better offensively from a standpoint of we have more offensive opportunities to go around. It's like Coach Pearl said, everybody can't guard, you know, you've got 3 or 4 guys on any given night, so you can't put your best player on 3 guys. So you don't, and every other team doesn't have that opportunity. I know Tennessee's got good talent as well, but they make their hay on the defensive side of the ball, but we do too. Disrupting passes, token presses, guarding the inbounds pass, doing it, never letting you kind of get into a relaxed state. Every single thing is challenged, making you run the shot clock down under 5, putting you in a situation where you're having to take a wild shot and maybe not be ready for an offensive rebound. That's what makes Auburn Auburn.
Well, I think the key to Auburn cruising to a win over Tennessee is what it is. What we didn't do very well against Missouri, except we just had more talent, and what we didn't do very well against South Carolina, we got into a half-court game against both of those offensively. We didn't rebound well defensively and get into transition. When I have watched Auburn kick Tennessee around in basketball under Bruce Pearl, they rebound very well defensively after playing that staunch defense you talk about. Kick the ball out, get down the court, and create better opportunities and more space for three-pointers. Tennessee does not allow you to get easy three-pointers off. No need to get into a half-court game with them. The pressure on defense turns to pressure on offense. Move the ball up and down the court quickly.
Yeah, no doubt. And, they sped the game up against Georgia in the second half. Everybody, when you have a low offensive game, everybody calls it a rock fight, a physical game. Well, Tennessee sped the game up against Georgia. It didn't work out for them, kind of ran away with it. They're not going to be able to do that against us. That's our game. So, again, when you look at teams that do it similar, then you have to say which one's got a better roster, and Auburn's got a better roster top to bottom.
The length of Auburn creates problems for teams trying to get into transition. The runs up and down the court against Auburn seem to be when someone hits a Hail Mary deep on an inbound pass and we just forget to get back there. You don't see a lot of teams consistently getting into transition against Auburn. If Tennessee does that tomorrow, it's going to be a big problem. I don't think they're going to be able to speed up against us either. And I think it's about time, Brett, to unleash Tahad Pettiford at point early. But don't take Denver Jones or Miles Kelly out. Keep both of them in. We could do some damage against Tennessee with a smaller lineup, a faster lineup, because they're just as physical almost with those guys in there as they are with the big oak trees.
Yeah, Miles Kelly right now to me is playing about as good as anybody we have on our team. He's responsible for getting out or helping Auburn get out to fast starts. He comes out of the gate seeming like he's dialed in where other guys maybe takes them a few minutes to kind of get in the flow. He's firing up threes out the gate and dropping them and, getting Auburn to a situation. He did that at Duke. He helped Auburn build that really big lead in the first half against Duke. Now, they came back and eventually took the lead going into halftime, but Miles Kelly's the reason Auburn got off to such a great start on the road and kind of shocked Duke coming out of the gate. Bubba comes back and says that Isaiah Thomas was at Indiana from 79 to 81, so just a few years prior to him getting
They did
there.
win a national championship with him there, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but they did. He wasn't on the 76 undefeated
Who was
team.
the bailiwick in 76 when they were undefeated, folks?
Let Bubba keep on rolling these Indiana
Roll it on
facts.
in, Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba, keep rolling the facts in for us on that, and we'll keep running this other down. But, we'll dive into some recruiting coming up here. The first college football – the first week of the college football season, there was a graphic that was pushed out. Pretty good week, a pretty good Saturday, opening Saturday of college football. Look, it's never
I think
too
they're going to
early.
have to move the week up.
Probably so.
They're running out of time.
Either that or do away with a game during the schedule and do away with the championship games, and then you add something on the back end.
Well, they're going to have to get the Army-Navy game moved up,
I
too.
agree with that.
But
Well,
the championship
yeah.
game's got to go, too.
There's a lot of tweaking to go.
We're taking charge here today, folks.
Yep, we're not taking no for an answer. Right. All right, up against the break, a lot more to come when we come back.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe. Call Sensagreen.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
The results are in, and Game Day Men's Health in Auburn has delivered. The certified medical team at Game Day Men's Health wants to help you feel better. Text 334-209-3706 to set up your free testosterone check and consult. Results back in as little as 15 minutes. Tired of feeling tired? Text 334-209-3706 to Game Day Men's Health in Auburn. They make you feel better.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Halfway through our program, I want to thank Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine in Auburn and in Montgomery. Another week left in January. another opportunity to get the January grilling box from Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. 4 prime pork chops, 4 of those prime pork chops that are about this thick. 4 Conecuh burger patties. If you have not had one of their Conecuh burgers, you're just missing out. 4 of the ground steak patties where when they trim and cut the ribeyes, they take that and they pound that into a burger. It's not ground beef. It's ribeye trimming.
Wow.
So you get 4 of those and you get a pack of Conecuh sausage. Have you priced a pack of Conecuh sausage at the grocery store lately? All this for $85, man.
I'm going straight to Pepper Tree.
Hey.
As soon as I leave here, I'll be there in about 2 hours to make sure I get my my box. And you can also get that one in Auburn. You can get a 6-pack of wine. They've got all these really good wines.
Daggum right, man.
And it's like 50% off if you buy a 6-pack. I go through those.
Who's not going to go buy that? The grilling box, man, and again, they're weekly specials, daily specials. Just go check out Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Don't take our word for it. Go look at their selection of great meats back there in the back with the pork chops, the tiger tails. If you've not had those, man, you have.
They're awesome.
They're awesome. Daggum believable. All right, on a personal note, good to see Marcus Davis yesterday here at Benjamin Russell. We were obviously at the game last night, the Benjamin Russell game, and he was there watching Cedarian Morgan, of course. Cedarian Morgan, the number 2 wide receiver in the country. Alongside Tristan Keys from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, who also will be in on Saturday. Both the number 1 and 2 wide receiver. Could Hugh Freeze be putting together another Freeze 4?
Yes, no question about it. I mean, listen, you can say a lot about what's happened at Auburn, not just under Coach Freeze on the field record-wise, but for quite some time it's been below mediocrity. It's been terrible win-loss record for quite some time. But you cannot say that this coaching staff hasn't done one of the best recruiting jobs in their stay at Auburn in the history of this program. They have killed it. They continue to kill it. They've done well. They're getting better and better each year in the portal, which is recruiting. And the talent is there, and it's going to continue to be there. Whether that translates to the field now is up to the coaches. But they have gone above and beyond recruiting.
You know, Marcus Davis, let me brag on him for just a second. You know, talking to him last night, and just genuinely just a great guy, man. The way he comes off and, you know, greeting everybody and people wanting to come up and talk to him. And, you know, he just puts off a persona that you're not taking anything. You're not taking time away from him. He's not trying to rush away from you and like, yeah, hurry up, let's get a picture. You know, he'll stand there and genuinely have a conversation with you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and I told him, I said, man, you guys are doing a great job. And he said, well, we're going to keep working our rear end off. And, you know, and he was just complimenting Darian. He said, it's great to see him and his family out here tonight and him having a good night and just being around good kids. And so that's what we have on the recruiting trail. That should reassure everybody, or at least, you know, I know the results haven't been on the field like we want them, Wade, but, man, we got some quality people out there.
Well, that's where I was going to go. And as a fan, and I am a fan. I'm not a media personality. I'm a fan. I speak for the fan, I feel like. And we get frustrated when things don't go our way. And Auburn's got a lot of frustrations now, the fans do, because things haven't gone our way for quite some time.
Right.
And we're tired of it. But you got to remember that these coaches are people too when you get fired up at them. And I think that all around, Auburn has a really good bunch of people, not only on that football coaching staff, but on all the staffs and all the sports. There's a culture there of good folks working hard, and it's going to take a break or two. Auburn football desperately needs one.
Right.
A good time to start that would be going out to Waco as a 1.5-point favorite early on against Baylor to kick off the 2025 season, and kicking them and David Koresh and everybody else back out into the woodlands of Waco and making a statement. So
and bring up the Branch Davidians.
Is today on his day of birthday?
No, I don't think. If it had been, and then Andy had put that on here, I probably would have just gotten up and left.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, we got good folks over there. They're working hard off the field. It's got to begin to translate on the field, and if it doesn't, it's going to be a shame. game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Some comments going back to the Indiana talk. Bubba said Scott May and Quinn Buckner.
Quinn Buckner, there
were
we go.
Indiana stars there in 1976. So
remember Quinn Buckner on CBS Sports.
Absolutely,
he was always awesome.
No doubt about it. Let's talk about again on the road. No rest for the weary. Nobody's working harder than this staff when it comes to recruiting. I remember a staff not too long ago that if the number 2 player in the country was right up the road, like Sadarian Morgan is here, he probably never would have even come and visited and probably never would have seen an assistant coach come up.
How in the world did Quinshon Judkins not end up at Auburn or Alabama?
Unbelievable.
And Auburn especially, they got on him way too late because that staff was way too lazy.
Complete and total idiot.
Well, not the whole staff, but most of them.
No, I'm talking about the guy at the top.
He's a louse.
Well, that prevented a lot of those guys from going out and doing what they wanted to do. I mean, we know firsthand from the horse's mouth that some of those coaches were like, he's like, you're not going out recruiting today. I need you here watching film. Film for what? I mean, if you can't go get players, it doesn't do you any good to watch film.
Yeah.
So, what an idiot.
Watching him run up and down the national championship game, just a head scratcher. You're right. This staff's putting in the time off the field. I got to believe eventually it's going to translate on the field.
Well, it took Bruce Pearl 4 years, if you remember, to a program that was absolutely the bottom feeder for a long time in basketball, and he's got them to the top.
Sad truth is Auburn was bottom feeder with Brian Harsin. Fact.
And so now Hugh Freeze is having to rebuild. I mean, probably more than anybody's ever had to rebuild.
Let's get a W start season.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, up against the break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone 256-750-0381 or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit allagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. A couple segments left on this Friday edition of the show. Brett and Wade here with you, taking you up to 1 o'clock. Let's talk about some of these recruits coming in. Big weekend for Auburn. Obviously, game day, Tennessee. Then you got junior day for football. And I don't know. We've seen some impressive lists before. This one, to me, I've been talking about it all week. On the podcast. I don't know that there's one that's more impressive than this. Zion Ely, an addition to this list, the number one edge rusher from St. Francis Academy in Maryland. Auburn's already got some players past recruiting class. They got 3 more coming in. They've obviously got a commitment, Wayne Henry, from there that'll be coming down for that visit. Also, another player from that same school will be making the trip as well. We'll talk about that just a little bit later on. But 3 players from that St. Francis Academy in Maryland will be making a trip to Auburn. And again, one of them's already committed. But the high profile of all of these players, the best at their position. Like we got the 2 best wide receivers in the country. We got 2 out of the best top 10 edge rushers in the country coming in. You got maybe the best offensive lineman in Emmanuel Iheanacho. What's going on in Maryland right now? Dadgum. I mean, Iheanacho's from Georgetown Prep in Maryland, and then you got all this St. Francis. Man, they're spitting out the talent in Maryland.
It's like the Carrollton, Georgia, the Mid-Atlantic, man. They're just loaded with talent up there.
Do they lose a game?
I think a lot of those players can kind of conglomerate to 1 or 2 schools and become powerhouses. And what's happening to Maryland for Auburn is the DJ Durkin effect.
No doubt.
All of his contacts up there being the former Maryland coach and making inroads and getting some players. That guy that they got who's a tweener safety and linebacker in last year's class, I believe his last name's Dees, is going to be an animal for Auburn. Very quickly, you will see him at least on special teams next year, Auburn fan.
You look over at Vodney Cleveland, big-time defensive lineman from Parker High School.
My man Vodney, decommits from Alabama, and all of a sudden showing up down in Auburn. Auburn continues to try and dominate the state of Alabama in recruiting.
And right now, they look like they're heading that direction again. Big pull there's Jordan Crawford. Jordan Crawford, in my opinion, may be the best recruit in this class.
No doubt about it.
And
he's going to play early and often.
Absolutely. He's Malik Blockton. Again, Malik Blockton got on the field early, really. And I think you're going to see even more of Jordan Crawford this year.
This kid reminds me of DeMarco McNeely.
It looks very similar. And then his teammate, Vodney Cleveland. Everybody was watching Jordan Crawford, but when you got Vodney Cleveland on the defensive line with you, makes you better.
Yeah,
and so would be
– well, that Parker team was good.
Loaded. I mean, just slap loaded. One of the best teams I've seen, them in Jackson.
Yeah.
And Jackson will have almost everybody coming back. Speaking of Jackson, reclassified to the 26th class, Xavier Crowell from Jackson, the number 1 running back in the 27 class, now comes into the 26 class. He'll be coming to Auburn tomorrow. That's a big deal.
Wow.
I mean, that's a biggie there. And then you're going to have a kid that's going to be making a decision here in the next few weeks on where he's going to go, and that's Omar Mabson from Auburn High
I've
School.
seen a lot of Omar Mabson Jr.
Yep.
I went to high school, and actually I went to grade school with Omar Mabson Sr.,
okay,
who was a heck of an athlete and a linebacker. Omar Mabson Jr. reclassifying. I've seen him several times, and let me tell you something, folks. I'm not saying he is this guy, but his same style of running is a lot like this guy in Emmitt Smith. Low to the ground. Not the tallest back,
right,
not the fastest back, not even the shiftiest back, but scary, powerful,
right,
especially around the goal line. He's built like a tree stump. That guy can play some football, just like his old man could.
Definitely a solid get right there in the backyard. So that could be an addition to the 25 class that Auburn's already brought in. Again, people kind of forget about this second signing day. That's
a shame.
It used to be the day.
Used to be the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. But now the early signing period is the Super Bowl. Everything's just been moved
They
up.
got to change that schedule up again.
I mean.
That calendar's getting a little whacked, too.
Well, imagine that. Something screwed up with college football. A guy to watch maybe for a commitment tomorrow would be it's Anthony Davis from Grayson, Georgia. I couldn't remember. But I know that he's a guy that could possibly commit tomorrow. Maybe Jaira Edwards from St. Francis Academy would be a guy also to watch. You never know when these guys get together who might come out. But I think the goal, obviously, when you get this many together, you want to try to garner a couple of commits off a big weekend like this. If you'll remember, this was the weekend that kind of really sparked last year's recruiting class.
This was always the weekend historically that was to lead up to the Super Bowl,
right,
the first Wednesday in February when National Signing Day was officially, on that day.
Right.
Now it's the de facto National Signing Day in December for the early signing period. This was always that big weekend. Now it's a big weekend to kick off the next year. And it really won't stop until spring practice. And then once spring practice hits, there will be a pretty decent break. And then all of a sudden, the hay that you tried to begin making now will start really popping around June, which is the weirdest thing because June used to be such a dead time in college football. Now it's one of the most important time for coaches.
No doubt.
All the way up to the 4th of July trying to get commitments.
I know we don't have time to talk about it. We're not going to go through every visitor again. We're going to have Jason Caldwell on Monday on the podcast at 8 o'clock to recap this coming up weekend. And follow our guys at 24/7, Christian Clemente and Jason Caldwell. They do a phenomenal job. We really appreciate what they do with us here on the Auburn Blitz, and that nobody covers Auburn better than they do. So we're glad to be tied in with those guys. All right, we're up against the final break of the program. We come back, we got a lot more to cover in one segment.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
For air that's cool and clean, call Senza Green. For air that's cool and clean, we care about the air you breathe. Call Senza Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carry or cool cash rebates. Visit Sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe. Call Sensagreen.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare. Serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State Games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State Games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit alagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz final segment of the program. Again, I want to thank all of you for watching and listening every single day. Appreciate all of you that are subscribing to our YouTube channel. Go out there and subscribe if you have not done that. Auburn Blitz podcast every morning at 8 a.m. Make sure you tune us in. Again, we will have Jason Caldwell on with us starting this Monday, almost every Monday. Scheduling permitting, he'll join us for his Monday morning mailbag. So all of you that are part of the 24/7 network know that he puts that out on Mondays. So he'll be delivering that to you with our program as well. So looking forward to
show.
It is a fun show. All right, week 1 of the 25 football season. It's never too early to talk about it, is it?
Never stops.
Never stops. Listen to these games. Texas at Ohio State. Wow. A rematch of the semifinal game that we just had last week.
Arch Manning's first start as a Texas Longhorn.
Going to Ohio State, the defending national champs. Interesting, very interesting. LSU goes to Clemson. The fake Southerner takes his Tigers over to play Dabo's Clemson Tigers.
That'll be an L for LSU.
I think it will. That'll be 3 years in a row LSU's dropped their opener. They've lost to Florida State, USC, and then
back to Ohio State. What type of dream team do you think they'll be able to put together
I
this
don't
year?
know,
Do you think
man.
they got any money left?
I think Ryan Day walking down the tunnel after that game outside of the golf cart accident, the girl ramming the golf cart into the side of the wall and about chopping his leg off.
Golly.
He looked like, man, can I just get out of here?
Please.
All the way around. So,
I mean, that almost looked as bad as that time they called Urban Meyer after the
Eating the
Michigan State
pizza.
eating that limp cheese pizza from Little Caesars.
man, she takes off. I felt sorry for her. But, like, Faith even said it on the podcast, so I'm not saying it. This is coming from Faith. She said, women have already had enough grief about driving in overtime over the years, and then she gets on there and rams this daggum golf cart
Next
up into
time,
the
why
wall.
don't y'all get a golfer to drive the golf cart?
That's right.
Because there's an art form to driving a golf
Well,
cart.
she took off and rammed it straight in. It's the look that Ryan Day gave, like everybody on the Will Howard couldn't quit laughing. He's just like, I think this is great. But no, that's going to be a great football game. Tennessee at Syracuse. I don't care what Syracuse is like. It's hard to go to the Carrier Dome. It's just one of those places. It's
Ask Miami this season.
no kidding. Auburn at Baylor, obviously. That one will be one that we'll be heavily focused on. Boise at South Florida. Nebraska will go to Cincinnati. TCU will go to North Carolina. Will Bill Belichick be there is the question.
Or will he be at Dallas?
Right. Or will Dion, who welcomes in Georgia Tech, Colorado, Georgia Tech, week 1, will he be at Dallas?
Never been, primetime broke my heart a couple of times as an Auburn fan, so I've always been kind of anti-prime, but the more and more he coaches and the more I listen to him, the more and more I like him, especially lately when they challenged him on Christianity in his program. He said, I'm not stopping, so get you some of that.
Good for him. He's the
Dang
man
right.
that stands up for his beliefs.
Do it, Prime.
South Carolina at Virginia Tech. Could be interesting there.
Carolina's going to be good.
I think they are. How good is the question. Lenore Sellers, he would have good games and he would have bad games.
A lot of film on him now. Teams will figure out ways to contain him more. The defense is what drives that program and has for quite some time outside of Steve Spurrier when they're successful.
Notre Dame will travel to Miami. That'll be Carson Beck leading that team against a Notre Dame team that doesn't have Riley Leonard.
Speaking of people and how they got outside the state.
Riley Leonard, no kidding.
This is it for Miami and Mario Cristobal. This is it. They have put so much money and resource back into trying to get the
they need to go put
back.
They need to put some money into the defense.
I'm telling you, they've got to do something. If they lose that ball game, their season is over.
Yeah, I mean it's already.
Notre Dame's proven they can lose a game.
I want to this one, and haven't had a chance to talk to Luke about it. But
watch out.
Alabama opens up at Florida State, and look, I'm telling you, I know that Florida State was terrible this year. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That was one of the worst football teams that I've seen in a long time.
They quit after the first.
Uiagalelei is the worst,
Is he
most
back?
overrated. No, he left. I mean, if he could have been back, he would have been gone. I mean, that is the worst quarterback.
Kind of like Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
Jalen Milroe way better than Uiagalelei.
Oh, no question about it.
But
That's
Uiagalelei.
They didn't want him back, though.
No, they didn't. They didn't. No,
I'd take him.
All right, so Alabama going to be taking a true freshman.
That is going to be a tough game.
I'm just saying they're Mike Norvell knows his rear end's on the line. He got Gus as the offensive coordinator.
Gus will have something for Alabama in that game.
So this one will be interesting. I mean, Florida
Alabama
State.
does not have a quarterback right now. They don't know who their
Keelan
quarterback
Russell's
is.
going to be the guy. I mean, it's going to be.
Day one?
I think he's going to.
Oh, I hope so.
I really think that's who it's going to be.
He's not Bryce Young.
I'm just saying. I just think,
Bring it on.
Yeah, I think that's what Alabama's putting their.
No way.
They're
going to go to Simpson.
I don't know how much confidence anybody's got in Ty Simpson.
Somebody get Luke on the phone.
Well, not enough time. There's no way we could get him on the phone right now. All right, we're about out of time, so I know we want to get to these. That's some great games, though, by the way, week 1 of the football schedule.
Brett, on this day in 1982, Super Bowl 16, the Niners defeat the Bengals 26-21. Joe Montana, the MVP. Quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals on that game was?
Was it Boomer?
Kenny Anderson.
Kenny Anderson.
He could, and they were some of the first teams in the NFL, both of these teams, to really move into a fast-paced, aired-out offense.
Right.
I don't think James Brooks was on that Bengals team, but he did play in the '88 Super Bowl for him,
Right.
where Montana was the MVP in that game as well.
Yep.
Happy birthday to Ray Stevens.
The squirrel.
Still alive and kicking. Happy birthday to David Koresh. Just kidding, man.
I just don't bring that. I mean, good Lord.
Aaron Neville, Neil Diamond, Sharon Tate, man. Gone too early.
What
She
a
was,
waste. Yeah.
What a waste. What
No
a hottie.
kidding.
John Belushi's birthday today is today. Mark Eaton, I've got his basketball card. I didn't know he passed away.
2021.
Man, Mary Lou Redmond.
What about Rob Dibble? How mad at the world was he when he pitched?
Got some of his rookie cards.
He just rather hit you in the temple.
He was a hero.
He was a fireballer.
They had him and Charlton and Randy Myers, the Nasty Boys.
Yeah. But Rob Dibble, if he hated you, just throw it and hit you in the temple.
Hey, he hated his manager. They got in a fight after a Braves game.
That
one
guy
time.
had anger management.
I was at that Braves game.
Were you really?
He went out and warmed up after the game because they didn't pull him out of the bullpen. They pulled somebody else, and the Braves won in the bottom of the ninth. He went out there after the game and warmed up, and then they got in a fight. Sat there and watched him.
We got to get out here on this edition of the Auburn Blitz. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.